January 18, 2022, Microsoft publicly announced its intention to acquire Activision Blizzard, the publisher of Call of Duty, Diablo, and World of Warcraft. Microsoft said they want to acquire Activision Blizzard for $68.7 billion in an all-cash deal or $95 per share. It would be Microsoft's biggest acquisition, overtaking the $26 billion that they paid to acquire LinkedIn back in 2016. The company also said once the deal closes, it will become the third largest gaming company in the world and the largest headquartered in the America behind Chinese company Tencent and Japanese company Sony. If the acquisition closes, it would give Microsoft the ownership of franchises including Call of Duty, Crash Bandicoot, Spyro, Warcraft, StarCraft, Diablo, Overwatch, and Candy Crush. If the deal closes, it would be the largest video game acquisition in the history. Microsoft CEO of gaming, Phil Spencer, said, upon closing the deal, Microsoft plans to offer as many Activision games, both new and old, to Xbox Game Pass and PC Game Pass. The announcement of Microsoft wanting to buy Activision Blizzard comes months after the sexual harassment claims against Activision Blizzard. In July 2021, the California Department of Fair Employment and Housing filed a lawsuit against Activision Blizzard, accusing the company of sexual harassment, employment discrimination, and retaliation. By November 2021, the allegation expanded to the CEO of Activision Blizzard, Bobby Kotick, and he was accused of knowing about all the harassment of his employees, ignoring them, and in some cases carrying out the harassment of his employees. Kotick apologized for some allegations, including one where he left a voicemail threatening to have his assistant killed, but denied the others. Both the Wall Street Journal and Bloomberg News stated around that time that Activision Blizzard had been considering a buyout from other companies, including Meta Platforms, the parent company of Facebook. The reason for that is due to the weaker than expected financial performance of their latest game releases and production delays. Based on SEC filings related to the merger, Microsoft approached Activision Blizzard immediately following the November 2021 Wall Street Journal report regarding a buyout. While Kotick had been hesitant of selling the company, but the board member decided to go ahead with the deal as they feared that the ongoing lawsuit will impact the company, while Kotick had remained on the board. Activision Blizzard then reached an $18 million settlement with the US Equal Employment Opportunity Commission, and reportedly nearly 40 employees left the company since July 2021. Kotick will remain the CEO of Activision Blizzard while the deal goes through regulatory process, as the company will remain independent until the deal with Microsoft closes. Kotick will depart from the company after the deal, and it is expected that Activision Blizzard will be under the control of Phil Spencer. Microsoft then expected the deal to close by fiscal 2023, and because Activision Blizzard operates in a number of different markets, it made regulatory approval more complicated for Microsoft. It is reported that Goldman Sachs will serve as a financial advisor to Microsoft, while Allen & Company will be Activision's financial advisor. Simpson Thacker and Skadden will serve as legal advisors to Microsoft and Activision respectively. Both companies' board of directors approved the deal, but to close the deal they will require approval from international government regulations. Due to the size of the acquisition, the deal is reviewed by several government commerce bodies, and as of now Serbia, Saudi Arabia, Brazil, Chile, Japan, South Africa, Ukraine, China, South Korea, and 27 countries of the European Union's Commission has approved the deal, while New Zealand and Australia is still reviewing the deal. However, US Commission FTC and UK Commission CMA rejected the deal, and they are now blocking the acquisition. In the US, the deal was reviewed by Federal Trade Commission FTC rather than the DOJ, as the agency has raised more concerns over mergers and acquisition in the big tech sector in the last decade. As part of the FTC's investigation, 4 senators were asked about the deal, and they expressed their concerns related to the deal, saying that both companies fail to protect the rights and dignity of their workers, and the merger should be opposed. if the transaction is likely to enhance monopoly power and worsen the negotiating position between workers and the parties. On December 8, 2022, FTC filed a legal challenge to block Microsoft's acquisition as they expressed their concern regarding the deal that the acquisition will harm consumers of Activision Blizzard's games and it will also give Microsoft too much control of a certain part of the industry, such as cloud gaming. FTC also pointed out that when Microsoft bought ZeniMax, they agreed to a concession from European Union not to make ZeniMax titles exclusive for their platform, which later they broke with Redfall and Starfield. In a statement made to Axios, Stephen Totilo, European Commission stated that they have cleared Microsoft's acquisition of ZeniMax unconditionally as they saw no material impact on the gaming market if Microsoft makes its games exclusive to its platforms. Microsoft responded to FTC's complaint by stating that Sony itself is one of the largest platforms with exclusive titles and contractually those cannot be released for Xbox. Microsoft also said that they have got plans to offer content for multiplayer Bethesda games like Elder Scrolls Online and Fallout 76 for all platforms to avoid undercutting the player base. On June 12, 2023, to Judge Jacqueline Scott Corley, FTC requested a temporary restraining order and preliminary injunction to block the merger as they had concern that Microsoft would go ahead and close the deal regardless with the approval from the European Commission. FTC stated that both companies have represented in the past that they cannot close their deal due to antitrust reviews of the transaction in the other jurisdictions. The court granted the temporary restraining order on June 13, 2023, while the hearing to determine a preliminary injunction on the deal was held from June 22 to June 30, and the evidentiary hearing for that case is set for August 2nd. The injunction will prevent Microsoft from completing the deal until the result of the FTC's legal challenge. Microsoft stated that if the injunction is granted, they will consider dropping the acquisition, which they described as being a 3-year of administrative nightmare. After receiving formal notification from Microsoft, on September 13, 2022, European Commission started their first phase of review of the acquisition under the EU merger law. The EU Commission sent out a bunch of questions to several game industry firms and asked them about the impact of the deal, including in the future if Microsoft decides to lock out rivals from Activision's titles. On November 8, 2022, the Commission announced that they will conduct an additional review of the merger to ensure that the gaming ecosystem remains vibrant to the benefit of users in a sector that is evolving at a fast pace. On 3rd February 2023, EU Commission filed a formal complaint against the accusation stating that Microsoft may be incentivized to block access to Activision's popular Call of Duty franchise, which could lead to reduced competition in the markets for the distribution of console and PC video games, leading to higher prices, lower quality, and less innovation for console game distributors, which may in turn be passed on to consumers. On 21st February, Microsoft met with EU regulators and announced that they have secured a 10-year agreement with Nintendo to bring Call of Duty to its platform alongside Xbox releases. Microsoft also confirmed that they have a separate 10-year deal with Nvidia to provide Call of Duty and other first-party titles as part of their GeForce Now Live service. After that, on May 15, 2023, European Commission approved the deal. On August 2022, UK's Competition and Markets Authority stated its intention to perform a high-level review of the merger. On 1st September 2022, CMA issued Phase 1 of the review stating that the acquisition could result in a substantial lessening of competition within a market or markets in the United Kingdom. On 8th February 2023, CMA reported Phase 2 of the review, where they stated that the acquisition could result in higher prices, fewer choices, and less innovation for UK gamers, as well as less competition in the console and cloud gaming spaces. CMA also recommended that Activision should at least divest the Call of Duty franchise. However, following Microsoft's deal with Nintendo and Nvidia, the CMA changed its stance in late March 2023. In their new statement, they stated that while the CMA's original analysis indicated that This strategy would be profitable under most scenarios. New data, which provides better insight into the actual purchasing behavior of Call of Duty gamers, indicates that this strategy would be significantly loss-making under any plausible scenario. On April 26, 2023, the CMA formally ruled against the merger. Among various reasons, they stated that Microsoft had already a strong position in cloud gaming, and the merger would only strengthen that position. The commission also stated that the 10-year deal with Nintendo was not enough to satisfy their concerns, as they have doubt that Microsoft will not be able to ship Call of Duty to Nintendo Switch. The CMA also further prevented Microsoft to initiate any acquisition of Activision again in the future without seeking pre-clearance from the CMA. On late May 2023, Microsoft filed its appeal to the decision. The decision of CMA had become a political debate within the UK, particularly after the European Commission approved the deal. The current Prime Minister Rishi Sunak aimed to make the UK tech industry leader in the European region, and the CMA's blockage ran against that position. The CMA defended its decision in front of members of the parliament, standing on the grounds that the merger would give too much advantage to Microsoft. So as of now, it looks highly complicated for Microsoft that they'd be able to close the deal in 2023, and it could even take the whole of 2024 to close it. If Microsoft decides to pursue and close the deal, it will become the biggest acquisition in gaming history. But if they decides to drop the acquisition, it will go down as an attempt of making it the biggest acquisition in the gaming history. Regardless of all of that, only time will tell us if Microsoft gets the deal or not. If you liked the video, do hit the like button and don't forget to hit the subscribe button for more gaming related content. And I'll see you guys in the next one. Till then, goodbye.